Welcome to another episode, everyone. The most brutal prison riots ever caught on video. This stuff will give you nightmares. Now, I appreciate the feedback everyone was giving me about not really being able to hear the sound with some of these reaction videos. I believe I've corrected the problem. I'm just going to turn off my mic here while the video is playing. Let's see how that works out. I just have to remember to turn it back on when it's my turn to speak. But if that don't work, there's a way I can turn it off in the settings as well. But let's get into this, man. The most brutal prison riots ever caught on video. And I believe she said two of them had their heads off. Damn. Now this was a real prison riot. Damn, that's fucked up. Yeah, they whooping his ass pretty bad. So it started off apparently what we would call horse playing around. Looked like, but that could have just been a ruse the whole time. They was ready to attack this individual. Who knows? And they were just playing with him to tire him out or just to throw him off guard and make it seem like, everything was cool. Hey, let's play and have fun. The whole time they was going to attack him. Or it could really be that they were playing. Someone really got upset and started attacking him. Then his homeboy jumped in. Now they started attacking this individual. I don't know. But it looked like they're attacking him pretty good. Five hours. It took them 5 hours. 5 hours to come in and do anything. By that time, you're in trouble, bro. By that time, you're dead. Half dead or something. 5 hours to come in and look at the officers. The officers, all of them just sitting out there. What are you trained for? They got mace. They got billy clubs. They got guns, block guns. So in some situations, they have real guns. If they wanted to break it up, they could have. Looks like they may have broken themselves up. Looks like they may have stopped at something. They all up against the wall and all that. And they didn't come in for 5 hours. So if they wanted to, they could have really killed each other. If they would have just kept going, someone could have really lost their life. Messing with these damn officers. Sheesh. It's really a situation where they lucky that they stopped themselves. The inmates stopped themselves. Those individuals stopped themselves. Because if they had kept going, someone would have died for sure. Right? They're going until 4:30 a.m. before they finally come in there and get control. Until then, they had all left out, ran out, what have you, left the inmates, the detainees to themselves, to fend for themselves. If they'd have kept going, brutalizing one another, it certainly someone would have lost their lives. A couple of people would have lost their life. Clearly. No, of course they were prioritizing their own safety. They didn't care about anyone else in there, what was going on with anyone else in there. If anyone else in there was about to lose their damn life, so be it. They were sitting out there, and they didn't care. They were not going in, even though they are trained to do so, to de-escalate these sort of situations. So no, it wasn't for the safety of the facility. It was for the safety of the officers and the officers only, because no one else was in safety. The other individuals in there were being brutalized. So it wasn't for their safety. Their safety was at jeopardy the entire time. Dang, man. That's serious. But they done broke out. They got heavy artillery. They got heavy weapons. They on the roof. And they're out there for some time apparently. And 4 down already. And 2 of them done had their off. Damn. To send a message to the other guards that they are holding hostage. Let's see how this is going to go. Because normally they do not negotiate with terrorists and all that. They'll let those guards die. Let's see. Damn. 50 now. So these riots out here in Brazil are very deadly, as we can see. They're very vicious, very violent. All riots are violent, yes, but I know of no riot in any California prison in the history of riots, in the history of California prisons, where 57 people were, even 5 people, even 3 people. Well, the 3 just lost their lives in Nevada, but you get the point. There's not 10 and 15 people that die in a riot, or 5, none of that. 57 people, but some of them died from asphyxiation, as he said, because they didn't set fire to the place, and they inhaling the smoke, and they can't get out. So these riots in Brazil, as we just saw, the other one, 2 people had their things cut off. Damn. It goes up.
16 of them with no heads.
Damn. 16 of them, he said, with no you know what. 16 of them. So out of the 57 people that lost their life when the smoke had cleared, 16 of them, they had sliced off their whole noggins. Damn, bro. This is crazy. Yeah. Let me guess. He has mental health problems. He doesn't need prison. He needs help. He needs a facility. That's what happens when they shoot up the schools and all that. They say that they have a mental health problem. No, he's a serial killer. He unalived 5 people. Period. Damn, he didn't waste no time. Yeah, he's a rookie, and clearly he wasn't trained. He's in a housing unit specifically designed to house the most volatile of the inmates, specifically, including people like this individual, this person who apparently, according to the courts, he was found guilty, pled guilty, whatever happened, to 5 murders. So, and he has a history, obviously, of volatile behavior there in prison. So he's housed here in a high security situation. This guard, who should be trained, you're not just working in any prison setting, you're around highly violent individuals. You have to stay on high alert, never open one of their doors, etc. I mean, you would think that he would be highly trained to even be able to work in this sort of unit with these highly violent, ultra-violent individuals. But instead, no. He lets them sweet talk him into opening his door, and he attacks immediately. And they say that it led to one of the most volatile riots ever. I haven't seen any of this footage before. I don't like to look at it before I react to it. Let's see what the hell happened here, man. Okay, because I was about to say, why are they attacking each other instead of the guards? Not that I'm condoning violence of any sort. I'm just wondering, knowing how prisons work, the structure and all, why would they be attacking one another when they finally get their doors open? But, well, I see now, they just said, or he just said he believes that he was attacked because they believed that he was a snitch. Okay. Now it makes more sense. Tell you the truth, man, I promise you I was going to say that this was a setup. This don't even sound right. I didn't see him accepting the contraband. But really, a rookie, they're going to put him in there and not train him to know not to open these doors. But now we see that apparently they were working together because he did not hurt the officer. He came out of his cell, drew the weapon on him, put it to his neck, but apparently that was all a ploy, a ruse, that they were in cahoots together, and he just made it look good, like how you set up a bank robbery or what have you, and then hit the person upside the head that lets you in, It was all fake. So certainly it was set up then. There's no question about it. So, not only does this officer who let this individual Bloomfield out of his cell know that he's a violent individual, the warden just days prior put out a memo, a directive, specifically for this one inmate, specifically for this one individual, saying, be on high alert. He's planning on attacking guards or what have you. Make sure you don't open his door. When you do go to get him and escort him, it's 10 of you all, etc. They put out a directive on this inmate, and you still let him out of his cell by yourself to where give him your keys, he can open up every door. Certainly it was a setup. I mean, it's not like he really cares. He has 5 life sentences already. He's in there for 5 unalivings, for 5 murders. He has 5 life sentences already. I'm sure he doesn't give a damn about the extra time that he's facing. You only live once. You can't live 5 damn times. Why would he give a fuck? You can already see how crowded it is. You can see how small that pod is and how many inmates are there on the floor. Then there are some hanging out of their cells. So it's overcrowded. And yes, this leads to violence for reasons that I shouldn't have to articulate here. You know, it leads to misery, which leads to violence. You can't cope. You can't use the bathroom. You have no privacy. You have no space to operate, to do anything with all of those people in there. And the place was not designed to have all of these people. Yes, that's going to lead to violence. And the police just right there. This is crazy. What the hell is this? Tennessee? That's crazy. So they said that the individual who's being attacked is related to the victim of the individual that's attacking him. Y'all got that? You keeping up? He's related to the victim. So let's say he's in there for an unaliving. This is the person that he unalived. This is his cousin, brother, or what have you. And so he's saying, I guess, I killed your brother, sister, nephew, son, daughter. Now I'm finna get you. So they had them separated, but because of this overcrowding, now they put them together. And right here in front of the police, they kicking this dude head in, and the police are really, where your mace at? Where your little billy club at? Where your something? What is going on here? They just letting these dudes cave this dude's dome in. Damn. Of course, that's what they always want to do. Build another jail, 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 build another damn jail. No, rehabilitate some people. I see, old boy started taking off his shirt. Like, it's about to go up. Let's see, man. Yeah, they're begging for fresh air because that mace and all that flashbangs, that stuff is no joke. You see the police, even though he had on helmets and all that, he trying to cover his ears. That stuff goes loud. Then they release those chemicals into the air, gets into your system. Your body's on fire. You feel like you want to take a cold shower. You feel like that'll help. It doesn't really help. I've been sprayed with that stuff before, man. It's not fun. That doesn't really mean premeditation. That doesn't mean a whole lot. The fact that they're covering their faces and all of this stuff that he just said, man. I mean, that could just be spontaneous. You come out and then, start talking about something like, man, yeah, I'm finna trip, and everybody else start tripping with you. You take your shirt off, cover your face, they follow suit. Doesn't mean that it was organized. Could have been, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. Certainly didn't know, they some of these prisons, they start some of this stuff, man, these jails and all that. They put them together as a coordination effort to see if they can get along. No, they're not going to get along. They are rivals. They've been rivals for decades. No work has been done on these individuals to cause them to get along all of a sudden. And now that they're in jail, they're not about to be playing kumbaya. Yes, they're going to attack one another. Certainly the administration knows this. They are not, this is not an experiment to see whether or not these individuals will coexist. No, they're not going to coexist. There's no history that indicates that they will even make an effort to coexist. Oftentimes, they put together these sort of fight clubs, these riots, these volatile oppositional gangs, so that they can attack one another, so that the jail can then get more money from the government, by saying that the jail is violent. They need more staff, they need more equipment, they need more this and more that to calm the jail down. So oftentimes it's nothing but a ploy administered by the administration. That's crazy that he would get 3 years in jail. They got the videotape. I don't know which one he was in there, but if he was, the one being attacked, he have to do what he's supposed to do: lay down and ball up, not defend yourself. As he said, he could have been in the hospital or even dead had he done that. So all he did was defend himself, and he still got 3 years in prison. I didn't even see any weapons involved there for defending himself, or a mutual combat at best. Crazy work. Yes, if an officer's life is in immediate danger. So the inmate's life, who's in immediate danger, it does not matter. As I said before, only the officer's life. But he said that he mistakenly hit the wrong doorknob and all of this shit. He just said they demoted him or didn't let him get a promotion for a year. But so what? Someone could have lost their life. How do you make such a mistake? Why are you putting these individuals together anyway as an experiment to see if they will be able to function together? They don't. Yes, they can coexist. They can function, but they don't want to function together. That's the whole point. So they patted him down. These are highly violent individuals, highly violent inmates. In fact, so violent that they are known, they are prone, have a proclivity for attacking officers. So much so that they are in this unit designed to house individuals who attack officers, a maximum high security unit. And yet he lets them out, pats them down, apparently didn't do a good enough search, even though they're known and prone to violence, didn't strip them out or anything like that, apparently, because he still had weapons. Obviously, this dude right here has a weapon. Right here, look like he's about to pull it out right there after he just got patted down and attacked this dude. Sheesh. Yeah, and no one is helping the officer. Yes, it looks like I guess they're running past him to run to the situation. A little late because one and lost consciousness and got sliced up to where he done lost consciousness, and the other one got sliced up in his face or whatever. And he running. Ain't no one stopped him to try to stop the bleeding or help him. They just running past him. I guess to get to the incident, but still, you're on your own, even if you're an officer. Shit, my bad. Look, I'm talking. See, I had to remember to turn the damn mic back on. My bad. Okay, so look, there you have it. The prison, violent prison footage, brutal prison riot footage. Some of that stuff was indeed brutal. The inmates got out of their cells and they're attacking one another. Look at couple of the first story. Two of the inmates had their shit cut off over there in them prisons in El Salvador, Mexico. They are extremely violent over there. They don't give a fuck. It's constant death. Man, you gotta stay out of it. You have to stay out of here. You have to stay out. Every prison, no matter where. That's why, as I said, I'm always fascinated to see what happens in these other prisons around the world, around the country, what have you. How do they dictate themselves? And it never ceases to amaze me that one thing they all apparently have in common is that they are all violent. And that's it, man. They all have some sort of politics, and you can lose your life by being there. The only remedy, as always, man, is to stay the hell out of there. All right, man. Shit, crazy. I'll be back in the meantime. Stay free, people.